Hello, this is a short instructional video on how to configure the output off states of a Model 2400 series source meter. There are 4 distinct and different output off states on the Model 2400 source meter. To configure them, it's fairly simple. To know what they are, we need to read the instruction manual or listen to this video. First, let's go and see. When the output is off, the terminals are set to a certain value. Let's see what that means. If we were to press config and then the output off, configure output, we select output state or off state. When it's blinking, we press enter. Here are the 4 states. The default is normal. Normal, when you're in this relatively high impedance output off state, the V source is selected and set to 0 volts. Current compliance is set to 0.5% of full scale of the present current range. In theory, with the V source set to 0, the source meter will not source or sink power. In practice, the source value may not be exactly at 0. Therefore, the source meter may source or sink a very small amount of power. In most cases, this source or sink power is not significant. So that's the default. If we were to choose the high impedance, just go to high impedance. High impedance, with this output off state, the output relay opens. So that means a relay disconnects the terminals from the outside world when it's turned off. This disconnects the external circuitry from the input off via the relay. To prevent excessive wear on this output relay, do not use this output off state for tests that turn the output on and off frequently. Note that there is a 15 millisecond settling time for the relay when the output is turned on. That's in the high impedance state. If we were to go to 0, when you're in this output off state, the ZER message is displayed when it's off, and the source meter is configured like this. When V source is selected, the program V source remains on the display. Internally, the V source is set to 0 volts. The current compliance setting remains at the same as the output on value. Real and range compliance detection remains active, and the measurements are performed and displayed. If iSource was selected as the source, that means the programmed iSource value remains on the display. Internally, the V source is selected and set to 0 volts. Current compliance is set to the programmed source I value, or to 0.5% of full scale of the present current range, whichever is greater. Measurements are performed and displayed. The last one is the guard. Guard, with this output off state, the current source is selected and set to 0 amps. Voltage compliance is set to 0.5% of full scale of the present voltage range. This output off state should be used when performing 6-wire guarded ohms measurements, or for any other load that uses an active source. So normally you would use the normal and leave it at that, but you should know the options. That is how to configure them. You just select the one that's blinking, press enter, and you're done. That is how you do it.